I feel quite sick because I'm so tired all the time and will be for like the next week or so. I need a lot of sugar and artificial colours to get through the day. I've tried the water thing. I drink about 8 bottles of water a day. It's not working. Yesterday at the library and today I had about this big a packet of bacon rashers, packet of strawberry bonbons, strawberry laces, and a bag about this big of giant chocolate buns. I didn't eat it all to myself, but that was what me, Louise, Rosie, Thomas, Calvin, Claire ate through today and yesterday at the library. That wasn't what I wanted to talk about. Actually, I forgot I had to do this video until about 5 minutes ago. Basically, I'm terrified of doctors and dentists and needles. I can't do needles. I obviously can do needles because I've had JAGs and I've had blood tests done before and I've had numbing JAGs for my mouth, so I can actually survive a JAG. I know it's not going to kill me, but I will get into such a state when the JAG is coming for me, and while it is in, and a couple minutes after it's been out, I will be shaking, I will be hyperventilating, I will probably be crying. I've cried every time I've had a needle near me for as long as I can remember. I think I got my fear of medical people, medical places, medical instruments when I was quite young, because when I was 4 I put my foot through a mirror. I was pretending to be goofy and I was taken down to casualty, and this is just like the earliest memory I have of being in hospital. They were taking an x-ray to make sure none of the glass had gone into my actual foot and they wouldn't have to surgically remove it. It was the first time I'd been in casualty since I'd been 2, which I couldn't remember. So this is like one of my first memories I have. All I can remember is just being in a great big white room and this noise, this screaming noise in my ear, and I was terrified for my life and I was screeching and I was crying, and that is the earliest memory I have of doctors. And it seems to be the one that's stuck, that when you see one you just scream and cry. I don't mind nurses because they're quite nice, and it's nurses that take my blood, so I'm not scared of the actual people, but I am scared of the needles that they come near me with. I think also when I was 10 I fell off a plastic barrel. This just gets worse and worse. I fell off a plastic barrel and broke my arm. I broke my, this bone, I broke it in 2. Like this bone. It broke in 2. You can see the scarring. It just snapped in 2. It wasn't a clean break, it was a big break. It still clicks out of place. First they told me they weren't going to operate, they did. Then they told me we're not going to cut you open, they did. Then they told me the stitches will be dissolvable stitches, they weren't. Then they told me when you get the stitches out it won't hurt, it hurt like hell. Then they told me your arm will feel just better. I can barely use my arm. This arm is very weak. You put pressure on this elbow, I will probably screech at you. One time, a girl that I didn't like at gymnastics took my elbow to kind of show me where to place my hands, and she was lucky I didn't slap her in the face. I was very. I get really freaked out if people touch my elbow. I also have a fear, or I don't know if it's more paranoia or a fear of being locked in or trapped. I guess buried alive would kind of be like that phobia, but I've never experienced nearly being buried alive. I've experienced being locked out and locked in, and it's scary because it gets to the point where you think I'm not getting out. It takes me literally 30 seconds to come to that conclusion. So if I'm stuck in a room for 15 minutes, I get quite I get into quite a state. Girls and some boys, yeah. Probably quite a lot of boys, I don't know many boys that do it. They wear tights, okay? It's perfectly normal, it's part of school uniform. Wear tights to school. Their material is quite fine and can rub against your skin, your legs, and it can get quite itchy. Don't scratch your legs near me if you have itchy legs while wearing tights. No, if you have quite, even short nails, but quite long nails, and you go up your tights, it will look like I'm having a mini seizure. Like, I'm not even, I literally like spasm because I don't know the reason for this. It's not really a phobia, it just gives me such the heebie-jeebies. I get goosebumps all up my arm, and it's like when you're really cold and you just go I do that. I don't know why I want to talk about fears. It just seemed like the first thing that was in my head, and I thought, let's just go with it because you don't have any other plans. And I can't get shouted at for not making a video last week because neither did Connor. Because we had Rocky Horror. Do you want to talk? I fell. Nobody gave a crap. Nobody gave a crap! But okay, it's small. It's really small. Right. You see that mark next to my nail that's had all nail polish picked off? Because that's a habit I have, pick off nail polish. It's so I don't bite my nails. You see that tiny mark there? Okay. I tripped over some steps. Okay, you know I tripped over some. When I tripped over this step, it's a small cut, but it's quite deep. So I got a chunk taken out of my finger. It was a tiny chunk, but it stung like hell until yesterday when it finally stopped. And every time I touched it, it was like, ah! And I had to sit there and be laughed at. It wasn't funny. It hurt. Oh, this lighting effect's changing. I'm slowly but surely taking over the kitchen. Buy all the Don't Do merchandise. That's better lighting. I'm confused as to what makes a phobia. Because for the medical thing, I have two instances very far apart, where I was in a medical place and I was terrified for reasons. But the whole tights thing, being locked in, I guess that was kind of just drilled into me if I was locked in. I think when I was about 4 or 5, I got trapped inside my grand's bathroom and I didn't get out for about 2 hours. So that could contribute to that. I don't know if that actually happened or if that was a dream. But I can remember it happening. It might even not have been for 2 hours, it could have just been for like 5 minutes, but I was terrified. And I have forever been terrified. And I will always be terrified. So, yep. Bye!